I'm going to start the session now. I'm just taking a moment to recognize this beginning of our Yin Yoga session this evening. We have just over an hour to create a pause, a space of nurturing, nourishing, of perhaps exploring peace and how we might invite more peace into our world just for this moment. And as I always share with anyone who joins these classes, either online or when we're all actually together, please listen to your body. At no point should there be any pain, any discomfort. More so than ever today as we embark on a yin and actually more of a restorative yoga practice today. So no pain at any point. And in many ways that really becomes that essence of a yoga practice, that possibility of really attuning and listening and taking responsibility for ourselves. I will offer shapes as a guide, as an invitation for exploration, and yet there's no one who could know more truly this moment, this experience, this body than yourself. And so please take care, be gentle, and be kind. Today, I was considering what to bring into this session. It kind of began yesterday with Yoga Nidra and the theme that I explored in the Yoga Nidra, and then today I was thinking about what to teach, and I received an email from one of my teachers, Christy Arbon. She's a self-compassion, somatic self-compassion teacher. And, you know, she always asks in all of her emails these three questions. What am I feeling? What do I need? And what can I do? And as I woke up this Monday morning to another week of this strange reality and all that it encompasses, and what I've seen from the last 5 weeks of being in this lockdown, is the necessity to be reactive to what is here more so than ever. It's been such a roller coaster of experience, of emotion, physically, emotionally, mentally. And so rather than the expectation of what I feel I should be doing or what I want to be doing or what I could be doing, there has been a real sense of surrendering into actually what is here now and what do I need. And this really came into greater clarity with the simplicity of these questions. What am I feeling? What do I need? And what can I do? And Christy Arbon often speaks about, actually in her own practice, how she asks herself this question every 15 minutes through the day, or certainly with frequency. She keeps coming back in. What is here? What am I feeling? What do I need? And what can I do? And these questions really express in such a clear way the two wings of freedom that Tara Brach talks about, the wing of awareness and the wing of compassion. Can we notice what is here? Can we be willing to look and see what is here? And then maybe respond to it. Self-compassion, the practice, is one of courageously turning towards ourselves and befriending ourselves and our experience, or certainly developing the willingness to try. For many, most of us, that is a skill or a practice that needs refinement. It's not one that perhaps comes naturally, the possibility to be kind to ourselves. And somatic, the meaning of somatic, soma is the body. And so somatic is the felt sense. It is what wisdom is available to us through the body. And so in somatic self-compassion, we use the body as our guide so that we may bring this practice of befriending, of tending to ourselves. The three elements of somatic self-compassion: affectionate awareness, kindly noticing our sensations, imagery, behavior, thoughts, and emotions. What am I feeling? A courageous connection, showing up for ourselves as we learn about, make meaning of, and validate whatever responses and experiences might be arising in our relationship to ourselves, in our relationship to our surroundings, in our relationship to others. And this sense of radical response, parenting ourselves, attending to ourselves, befriending through self-soothing, self-inquiry, permission giving, and finding ways to support ourselves. And that is the essence of parenting. May we bring these qualities of parenting to ourselves, a willingness to be there, to support, to hold, to love, to care for. And the questions arise: what do I feel? What do I need? And what can I do? A deep letting go of expectation. And instead a listening to what is. And from that listening, a responding with tenderness, kindness, and compassion. And so that is the invitation, the offering for today's practice. May we continually come back to this inquiry: what am I feeling? What do I need? And what can I do? And this feels even more true as today the practice will be one that is more restorative. A lot of the conversations that I've been having with people online, with clients, is about this sense of weariness, the tiredness. And so it felt appropriate today to really create a space of restful nurturing. Restorative is such a sweet gift for our vessel of our physiological being, for our nervous system, and for all the parts within us that might feel activated, overwhelmed in any way at this time. And so we're going to begin by bringing this inquiry into our bodies, directly into the soma, the body. This willingness to listen and attend. So hopefully now you're in a position that feels comfortable, that feels at ease. Whatever feels most secure, most safe for you. The eyes may be open, may be closed. And I'm going to invite us to bring our awareness to different parts of our body and to reflect on what we're feeling at each part of your body. And as you reflect on what it is you're feeling in each part of the body, then exploring perhaps what might this part of the body need. Are there any adjustments we might give, we might offer to show this willingness to attend to what it might need? And if this part of the body doesn't feel anything, then there's the possibility to simply savor the fact that there is no need, that there is no discomfort in this part of the body. And so it all can become a practice of affectionate awareness, courageous connection, and nurturing response. Starting by bringing awareness to your feet, to both feet, noticing how your feet are feeling, noticing any sensations, perhaps tingling, maybe there's warmth or coolness, pressure or discomfort. Is there something that your feet need in this moment? Something you could do to address any discomfort? And if there's not, you might simply savor that there is no discomfort. Or you might notice a pleasant sensation in your feet. And if there is discomfort, even if there's a tiny thing you can do, exploring that adjustment, maybe a slight moving of your position, maybe a wrapping the feet in your blanket, taking time to ask what is here, to recognize if there's a need, and to be willing to attend to yourself. And we let go of the narrative, any story that may arise in connection to the sensations in the feet, in the body. Simply a quality of curiosity. We're now moving awareness up to your lower legs and asking these same questions. What am I feeling in my lower legs? What sensations am I feeling? Naming this awareness, noticing. And perhaps, what do I need? Do my lower legs need anything? And then what can I do? Is there something I can do? Something to tend to any discomfort? Or simply savoring that there is no discomfort? Perhaps even savoring pleasant feelings and sensations in the lower legs. Moving to the upper legs. the same inquiry. What am I feeling? Do my upper legs need anything? Is there anything I can do to address any discomfort in the area, to support this part of my body more deeply? Or you might simply savor the sensation of the upper legs. Savor the experience of connecting into that which is here now. Remembering the present moment is the only moment. Moving your awareness to your lower torso. What feelings are you aware of in your torso? What am I feeling? What do I need in this part of my body? What can I do? Either tending to any needs or savoring experience. There's no rush. There's curiosity guiding us through our body, through the myriad of experiences available in our body. If we just pause and listen. Now the upper torso. Asking, what am I feeling in this part of my body? What do I need, if anything? What can I do to support this part of my body, savoring or tending? It's as if we're painting a picture of experience, of sensation. Total presence, total awareness. Moving awareness to your upper arms. Continuing this inquiry, what am I feeling? What do I need? What can I do? Tending or savoring. And the lower arms, bringing the same curiosity. What am I feeling? What do I need? What can I do? Moving awareness to your hands. These same questions arising within. And as you listen to the wisdom of experience that arises in this present moment, an opportunity to attend and to simply savor And I always think of attending with this energy of almost tucking in a small child to bed, to sleep, or a baby, and that real readiness and willingness to bring such tenderness so that they may be safe and comfortable. Can we bring just a small drop even of that for ourselves? Move to your neck. What am I feeling? Is there anything I need? And what can I do? From the neck, finding your way to the head, perhaps pausing at the jaw, place that often holds a lot of tension without us even realizing. So just checking in, what am I feeling? What do I need? What can I do? Maybe there's a loosening, a releasing of the jaw, scanning the face, and asking these questions, perhaps letting go of any frown upon the forehead, allowing the teeth to part separately, allowing the head to feel supported on the earth. What am I feeling? What do I need? What can I do? Now expand your awareness to your whole body. Slowly expanding awareness through the whole body. Moving slowly, aware of all the parts of the body that you've checked in. And tenderly turn your attention towards. And as you become aware of the whole body with this almost mantra of questions, of inquiry, may we bring this same quality of listening, of tending to, of savoring experience as we move through this practice of deep nurturing today. With this heightened curiosity, the eyes may remain closed as fingers and toes begin to move. If you have any props beneath your knees, now is the time to remove them. If you are listening to the playlist, the music, now is the time to press play. Otherwise, we're going to move into a pose which I love the name of, Bananasana, which doesn't sound very ancient. Sounds like a banana, which is what it is. So stretching your arms up wide up above the head, pointing the toes. And then from here, start to move the legs over to the right side until you feel this deep stretch beginning on your left side. And then from here, start moving both hands also over to the right side, keeping them resting on the floor as much as possible. So you're creating like a C or a banana in your body, in the shape of your body. And you want to feel the deep connection down to that left glute into the earth. And from there, There's a deep stretch through the left side of the body, hip, waist, ribs, lungs. I'm going to be here for a few minutes, just finding space and opening. And it might be in this pose, and in each pose, we come into the inquiry, starting with what am I feeling? Naming as if painting a picture. And what do I need? So listen to your body. What might it need right now? What can I do? What can I do to deepen my presence, my experience within this pose? And with that inquiry, it might be that you then bring the attention to the breath. And for the breath, I'd love for you to simply find an even count on the inhale and the exhale. So very simply, if you're inhaling for 3, exhale for 3. That's all that needs to be done. Inhale and exhale for the same count as we lay the foundation of the breath for our practice today. In this position through the left side body, envisaging the lungs deep within, and imagining or connecting into an experience of offering space and opening through the rib cage, through the side body that can become very constricted, through being seated. This gentle stretch which allows the fascia to slowly explore releasing. Come to the center, hands to center, legs to center. Take a moment to hug knees into the body lying on your back. Just noticing any difference from one side to other before extending long once again, and then take it over to the opposite side. So doing the opposite of whatever you did on the first side. For most of you, that will be legs coming to the left, arms coming to the left, creating this natural curve through the body. And we can use this inquiry to guide us deeper into this pose. And when I say deeper, it doesn't mean that we need to go from an external sense more deeply into the pose, but rather our experience, our connection can deepen through this listening, this awareness, this attentiveness. Each moment offering a myriad of opportunities, gifts of experience. Our mind spends so much time racing into the future, journeying to the past. And in doing so, we lose so many moments. The moments when we look around and we really see that which is here to be experienced. Find your way back to center. Knees can hug in towards the body. It might be that you circle the knees, rocking the sacrum into the earth. And then take the left sole of the foot to the earth, the right foot can extend up to the sky. And just for a moment, reaching hands behind the right thigh, flexing the foot as if pressing the ceiling, the sky away. And then exhaling, drawing that leg in towards the body. So every inhale, it's as if there's a extending up through the foot. Every exhale, there's a drawing the leg into the body. It might be the left leg extends out on the earth. Keep the left foot really flexed if you are, straightening that leg so it creates a lovely foundation for the pose. And now become aware of the thigh bone and just sense the thigh bone dropping into the socket of the hip. And so you get this sense of the energy moving down towards the earth, drawing the bones in towards one another. And at the same time, there's the sense of energy extending up and out through the foot. So there's this gravity drawing the bones down to connect into the space of the socket, and energy extending up and out. Connecting to the legs can be a really great way of arriving down into our body, coming out of the mind and drawing down into the large, strong limbs of our lower body. Release. Bring right sole of the foot to the earth, and then left leg extends up to the sky. Hands reach behind the thigh. You can either keep the right leg, or rather the right foot on the earth, or extend it out. So we're not so worried about doing a really deep hamstring stretch here. Rather, we want to have this sense of connecting into the sensation of the legs here. And then bringing that inquiry, what am I feeling? What do I need? What might I do? A continual layering, deepening of experience. Remembering this sense of the thigh bone consciously, actively drawing down into the socket of the hip. And at the same time, energy extending lightly up towards the sky. Maybe the eyes are closed to allow for this attunement to experience. And releasing down. We're going to set up for a restorative bridge. So the feet are going to be hip distance apart, and see how my ankles are beneath my knees. So you can normally have a sense of that because as you twist side to side, your fingers generally can just tickle the back of your ankles. Okay, and from there, you're going to take your brick, if you have a brick, your book. It might be that you use a cushion here or a rolled up blanket. You don't want it to be on a really high level. You want it to be on a fairly low level, but enough that you get this slight sense of the heart higher than the head. So you can see how my heart now is just ever so slightly higher than my head. And this is going to bring about a physiological response to calm the system. So once you've found that place, moving any props away, and then bringing the arms into Shavasana position. So you want to have a sense of the shoulders supported on the earth, draping down. And it might be, as we go into the questions, what am I feeling? And what do I need? What can I do? It might be that there's a taking of a blanket. It might be that you notice your body is getting cooler now as the nervous system calms. And so it might be there's more opportunities to listen, to attend in this befriending way. Or perhaps there's simply a sense of ease, a sense of support. And maybe there's just a naming of that and a savoring. When we explore the practice of shamatha, the peaceful abundance of breath, a meditative practice, we're often finding this space between an attentiveness, a curiosity, and yet one that's held with a very soft attention. So there's a sense of deep observing, and yet in a way that has space and softness and gentleness to it. You might begin to notice your tummy making noises. There's always a great sign that the nervous system is moving towards a parasympathetic rest and digest state. When we start to recognize these little cues in our body, it's such a beautiful thing to know that our actions are supporting our body on a really deep and real way into balance and healing. I'm going to be here for another few minutes. And to add upon the breath that we explored to begin, I'd now love for you to explore breath known as square breathing. It's a really calming, anchoring breath. Very simply, as you inhale, count the inhale. Let's say the inhale is for 3. At the top of the inhale, you'll find there's a natural pause. Count for 3 with a gentle retention, not a really active holding the breath, but just a riding that pause for the count of 3. Then exhale for 3. And the bottom of the exhale, you'll find the same experience. Sink into the wave. At the end of the exhale, counting for 3. And so you can almost count your way around the 4 sides of a square. And this is a really great practice for anxiety. As you inhale, count for 3. Hold the breath for 3. Exhale for 3. Hold the breath out for 3. And begin again. For me, I often think of it like the sea. It's like the sea comes in for 3, and then there's a moment as it begins to shift direction for 3, and then out for 3. And again, a moment as everything shifts and moves in the opposite direction. That brings a real sense of fluidity. It might be you imagine the sea. I've been reading a lot about the nervous system. I'm very interested in the nervous system and its importance in our physical and emotional well-being. And I read just this weekend about how we all probably recognize nature has such a powerful effect on most of us and how we feel. You know, that feeling when you're by the sea and it's like, or you're in nature in the forest or out walking, it's just like, there's a sense of peace and calm that arises in a very natural, spontaneous, non-seeking way. And nature is known as a great restorer and support of our nervous system. But what's really interesting is that actually we don't need to go into nature to get that same experience. So just imagining it or looking at an image of it can invoke that same experience. And so for me, the sea is like my soul place. That imagining of the breath, like the sea, the ocean entering and leaving, and really visualizing that experience now more than ever holds such potency for supporting our nervous system and creating this moment or these moments of safety for all that we've advanced, so to speak, in our societies. Our nature is so inherently connected to the earth upon which we walk and the aspects of nature, and connection is our truth and our need. So now allowing yourself this gift of the breath, calm the nervous system, the image of nature to support that message of nourishing, nurturing, safety. Gently rise, lifting the hips. Remove whatever props you have beneath the hip and lower yourself with sweet tenderness to the earth. The knees move in towards the body. Give yourself the hug. Take any gestures that might support releasing the back. Rolling to your side and gently coming to rise. Rising, so you may see me for a moment, and for the next pose, having a pillow, something quite rigid, maybe pillows, maybe a cushion with pillows on top, and then it could be a brick, it might be another pillow underneath. So you can do these poses in bed as well, which is great, just with pillows. And you want to bring the right hip to this end of the bolster. And then from here, hands either side of the bolster. And hopefully you can see lowering yourself down, find a place where the body, because my belly is supported by the bolster. And then from here, I find it easier with my neck to face towards my knees. So I find this version, can see in all black, you can't see me so well. So my knees are facing towards you, both of them. My belly, as much as possible, is flat on the bolster, and then my head is also in the direction towards the knees. Unless for you, it feels better to turn the head away. And then hands, can you see how they can just rest? I've actually got the palms facing the sky because there's something that feels, for me, really surrendering, releasing of the hands, non-reaching. And you want to notice, and I can really notice this myself, even though I'm teaching you right now, my whole system is just releasing. Like I could close my eyes now and fall asleep mid-class. It's yet to happen in my years of teaching, but it's been close sometimes in restorative. So that's a sensation in restorative you want to find for yourself. And as you're setting up for the pose, you can be asking these questions. What am I feeling? What do I need? What can I do? And so this coming in becomes a really deep nurturing. I remember when I learned restorative yoga, and they shared something which just has been so true from years of teaching it since then, which is when you go up to someone and you sort of say to them, how does that feel? And they're like, yeah, that feels great, thanks so much. You're like, let's do some more adjusting. And then you keep adjusting and asking the question. And when you ask the question, how does that feel? And someone goes, then that's the sweet spot. Because when we go into non-verbal, that's when the nervous system is starting to just release. So seeing in this inquiry of when I'm feeling, what do I need, what can I do, if you can encounter this sense of, and each of us that will be different. So letting go of perhaps expectation, but rather how can I just deepen this a little more, a little more. And release. Continuing with the square breathing, counting the breath through the four corners with the invitation of the ocean. Oh, how I miss the ocean. And yet we have this incredible, powerful possibility of visualizing, and that visualizing, know as you do it that you're bringing the same qualities of healing, of space, of connection. Isn't that an extraordinary thing? Nothing to do, nowhere to be. If there's anything that needs attending to, bringing that quality of attending, of nurturing, perhaps a deep savouring of experience, perhaps both, and many layers of opportunities to experience in any moment. Ever so gently rise, so slowly, so slowly. And you're going to simply, without too much thought, lift and take the knees over the opposite way. And then set yourself up for the same pose on the opposite side. So remembering we're bringing the hip to the edge of the bolster, hands either side. Find the twist, delicious twist through the spine. You'll feel it through the belly. Lower down, coming to rest. Palms can be open in surrender. And as you enter the pose, bringing the inquiry, what am I feeling? What am I needing? What can I do? And using this deep listening as a way of embracing and settling deeper into the possibilities of this pose. Know that when we continually ask these questions, both in our practice and then as we take them off the mat out into the world, we're really building a relationship to ourself and to the many parts of ourself, and creating a sense of trust. And that is what we're often talking about with spiritual reparenting, or just reparenting, this word that you might have experienced in these teachings or in the realms of talking therapy, psychology. And a reparenting is almost an ultimate step in healing. Reparenting is when we step into a place where we are able to attend to the needs of ourselves and the needs that arise in every moment without looking outside of ourselves. Looking outside ourselves, perhaps the behaviors, beliefs that we've adapted through our life over the years to protect ourselves, maybe through distracting, maybe through not feeling, maybe moving towards things or away from things. It's some kind of intention to create ease in our system. And yet, as long as we seek these aspects externally, we create a real vulnerability in our possibility of living a life with ease, with peace. And so this reparenting is the step of noticing what is here, being willing to turn towards it, and developing the possibility of supporting, of soothing, of being there, just as you would a child. And this becomes particularly powerful when perhaps our experience in our childhood was disrupted somehow. Our needs as a child weren't met somehow, not necessarily in a very dramatic way, but nonetheless in a way that meant that we developed and adapted behaviors to navigate our life. Behaviors which perhaps don't serve us, beliefs which perhaps no longer serve us as adults. And so everything begins with this first step of, can we notice? Can we notice what is here? Can we notice the beliefs? Can we become aware of the behaviors that we've adapted? Can we know and recognize what is arising? And from that place, can we then attend? Can we begin to understand what it is we might really need? How we might, from our inner resources and with attentiveness, soothe and support ourselves. Reparenting is recognizing what is there, a willingness to look, and cultivating the possibility of responding in a way that helps to build, nourish, and nurture our resilience. And the beauty is, the more we turn towards ourselves, the more we ask the questions and bring the curiosity and the willingness, just the willingness to try and to attend and to nurture, the more our system trusts us. And in trusting us, almost as the leader of our system, the more it's able to relax into being. And perhaps those beliefs, narratives, behaviors that evolved through whatever the experiences of our life we may have had, also become more able to relax, to find greater space and ease. Gently rise from the pose. And just take a moment to come and sit and hug the knees into the body. It might be you hold one hand to each opposite elbow. It might be you come up on your toes. It might be the toes leave the earth, and the head tucks in, cosmic ball. And I always have a sense of myself, almost this childlike, almost baby-like embrace, holding all our vulnerabilities, all of ourself, and yet our tininess held within a vastness of a universe, supported and connected. Toes come to the earth. And I'm going to offer just a few options for the final pose. You can either come to Shavasana as we began. So we end lying on the back with a bolster underneath the knees. Otherwise, my bolster is actually probably set up as it is already. You can have a cushion with the bolster, or maybe if you have bricks, you can set up for a reclined goddess pose. So just to show that pose for you, I'm coming up towards the end of the bolster. Notice I'm not coming straight up to it. There's a little space so I don't overarch my lower back. And then I'm using my arm to lower myself down, especially if there's anything going on in the lower back. And from here, the legs can come to Shavasana. And then you see this draping of my shoulders, this real opening of the heart space. So that's the second option. The third option, if you have a wall, is to bring your legs up to the wall. So if you're coming up to the wall, imagine there's a wall here, bring the hip up to the wall, and then come and lie down. And as you do, swing the legs up and rest the legs, against the wall. Just my imaginary wall. You might have the legs on the sofa like this. Can you see how my legs, if they're on the sofa, the knees are slightly in front of the hips there, okay? And feeling supported. You don't want any activation of the core. I'm hoping that you can visualize my imaginary furniture here. Wall, sofa, or coming to Shavasana or goddess pose, reclined. So lots of options, all of them are invoking rest and support. And so as you make your choice, remembering the inquiry. What am I feeling? What do I need? What might I do? And keep layering that response as you ease your way into the final pose. This will be your Shavasana, your final relaxation. So take your time to settle in there. And as you settle in, I'd love to share the poem that I shared in Yoga Nidra yesterday. I'm finding certain poems need sharing more than once during the week as the theme threads its way through. And so as we settle into this final pose, this extract from a poem by Dorothy Hunt. Do you think peace will come some other place than here? Some other time than now? In some other heart than yours? Peace is this moment without judgment. That is all. This moment in the heart space where everything that is welcome. Peace is this moment without thinking that it should be some other way, that you should feel some other thing, that your life should unfold according to your plans. Peace is this moment without judgment. This moment in the heart space where everything that is welcome. Taking 3 deep breaths. And with each exhale, releasing through the mouth with a sigh that allows a deepening, a settling in to the pose. Slowly come back to the breath, to the body. Move fingers, toes. Take whatever actions are necessary to move from the pose that you're in to a seated position. If you've been in goddess pose or with the legs up the wall, you might just take a moment to hug knees into the body to release the pose from the body. And we will meet in a meditative seat, cross-legged. Hands can cross upon the heart. And the final moment of what am I feeling? What do I need? What can I do? May we keep coming back to this inquiry, bringing it to the physical body, the emotional, the mental space. Every moment an opportunity for this affectionate awareness, this courageous connection, and this nurturing response. These words of inquiry reminded me of the Serenity Prayer, a prayer which reminds us to take action when we can, to accept when we can't, and to understand the difference. Hands come in prayer to the heart, and this final offering. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Gently bringing the hands in prayer to third eye, to the heart, back down to the earth. Get the eyes open in amidst. Thank you all. You come up close.